So I think that, we're running into an era where you're gonna, I don't know if it's necessarily like all doom and gloom, but what I believe is that you're going to see this gap of widening of people
Hmm.
who can do stuff, maybe people like our children who we put the work in, time in, homeschool. They're going to be extremely, extremely talented in a pool of untalented, lazy people. So you're going to see, I think, the wealth gap expand exponentially. And I think for our Black community, we just got to get on board with like, you know, and I don't want to, because my sometimes when I listen to stats, my world isn't that, because everybody around me, I feel like, is very in tune with their children. I mean, like you said, Lauren was reading. Lauren was sitting on my couch at like 4 or 5 years old, guys, and I was on Netflix, looking past some adult, not adult stuff, but like some action rated R. And she was like, "What's," and read the title. I was like, "Oh my God!" I had to turn it to the kid. I'm like, "Who told you how to read? Why are you reading at 4? Why?" You know? And I realized, like, dang, I gotta I gotta watch what I'm scrolling through, 'cause she's reading these titles. So I think it's I think it's just sometimes the people around me are very involved with their children, and maybe it's just that birds of a feather. I flock with the same type of birds. But I think that, we just have to be responsible for our children. We can't keep blaming a system. Like, it's not the system's fault all the time. It's like, you had this kid, right? Your kid
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
read in fourth, fifth grade. That's your problem. That's your laziness as a parent. It has nothing to do with the school and the teacher.
yeah. Um, No, Malinga, what do you say about that? I mean, because I agree with that. Obviously, I'm a hands-on mother. I am very involved in my daughter's life. But for the parents that do have to work and that kind of have to rely, when I was younger, I was in programs where the teachers cared, and so it's a little bit of like what Joe was saying. I was in different programs. I had teachers that were like on my tail about all of the things. It felt very much more like a community, and that you had aunties. Whenever we go take Lauren to school, we're always looking for the auntie in the room that can just put their hand on Lauren in every environment that we take her to. So are they failing us, or is it like, do we just lack community now? Like, what is the issue?
I also was curious to know what grade level she was talking about.
Hmm.
And it didn't sound like it was first or second grade. Sounded like it was
No.
further along, which is why she was surprised. I just saw a comment kind of pass through that said, parents also, or some parents also can't read and can't write. And that is actually true.